Don't forget to hit that like button, share, and subscribe for more tokusatsu content, and I thank you for your continued support. I like these two girls. I like Kiki and Koto. For one, easy names to remember. But also I like them, man. They got some good vibes going. I really like them. And I really like, the message in this episode as well. But hey, let's talk about it. Yo, what's going on YouTube? This is your boy Kamen Spike 2.0 back again once again. Today, people, today we have our Super Space Sheriff Gavan Infinity episode 3. Man, that's still a long name. But in this episode, we get introduced to our third Gavan for this series. It is Gavan Luminos, and her Gavan is her King-Ohger is the King-Ohger of Joy. So now we got 3 King-Ohgers. We got the King-Ohger. I think Gavan's our main Gavan, Reggie. I think his Gavan, I think is what was it, like anger, I think, and then Bushido is sorrow and she's joy. And it looks like we're getting another Gavan in the next episode. I think so. It's just like a lady with glasses. I think we're getting another one. But hey, I mean, we did have 5. We did foreshadow to 5 Gavans in this series so far. So hey, go figure. But man, this episode was dope. Got to meet Kiki and Koto, and they're basically the Gavan, and I guess I think they're sisters, and they're basically part of the Federation for this universe. And in this Earth, we're all still trying to find out who is the main person who's doing this big distribution thing, illegal distribution of King-Ohgers across the multiverse. And we get to see Bushido and his superior. She's talking to him, asking him they're actually interrogating the last dude, the cleaner. We're actually interrogating him in the last episode, and he ain't and he ain't talking. They're interrogating him, he's not talking. And she asks him, she asks Bushido, why didn't you bring the red Gavan? Why didn't you bring him to me? And he says, hey, I have no excuses. It's my bad, I'm sorry. But apparently the other federations, the other universes, don't know about the multiverse. The only people that know about the multiverse is our main is Reiji. Him and his federation, they are the ones that know about the multiverse. So keeping the whole multiverse thing is a secret. But yeah, Kiki and Koto, they're basically investigating a series of a crime where the person has the monster or whatever has the ability, the culprit basically has the ability to turn people into foam. He shoots them and they just turn into foam, and that's a horrible way to go. Can you imagine just getting shot in the back and your whole body just turns into foam? Man, ain't nothing left of you, dog. But turns out this person who got turned into foam was actually a person from a certain planet. He was an alien. He looked human, but he was an alien from a certain planet. And on this planet, we basically see that on that other planet, they were like kaiju type creatures walking around, and that plays a part later with the actual culprit who's been doing all this. So Reiji ends up going to this universe and actually meeting Kiki and Koto, and he kind of just walks on their ship, just chilling. And they also had a weird way they saluted. It felt like a JoJo pose with the way they salute. So he doesn't tell them where he's from or anything. He just tells them that, hey, I'm an officer too, haha. And they give him all the information about what's going on. And it seems that Kiki, who she loves cute things, and she loves King-Ohgers, and she's really just fond of King-Ohgers and stuff like that. She also gets really fond of I haven't gotten her name yet, but our digital robot girl that works with Reiji. So basically they end up going back to their Earth, and they ended up finding this guy who was kind of linked to possibly possibly the crime that's going on right now, because they possibly think that the culprit is after him. And it turns out this guy, he a big wig, he's kind of like one of those like crime lords that like got really rich from doing a bunch of sleazy stuff back in the day, and now he's just living large in his big old mansion and all this stuff. He's got dolphin muscle. Nah, I'm kidding. But he's got dudes, he got bodyguards and all that jazz, right? And it seems like in this series, when it comes down to like fighting like foot soldier or like henchmen kind of people, they're just gonna be regular people. They're just gonna be regular people who get hopped up on that negative energy, those negative Emo-gear energies, which they actually do explain in this episode. Basically, that Emo-gear energy, the Emo-gears emit an energy called emoji, and basically by a person using it in a good way creates positive energy, and someone using it in a bad way creates the negative energy, which is why some of the Emo-gears that we've been seeing have had like a black casing, and it comes from all this energy kind of coagulates and kind of comes from a galaxy in the middle of the universe. It was weird. It was weird, but it was cool though. At the end of the day, it's always cool. But yeah, so now that we like tracked this guy down, turns out the culprit actually comes after him. It turns out the reason why they didn't find any footprints of a what's those monsters, like the monsters that come from the Emo-gear negative energy. Reiji kind of figures that, hey, this looks like something that one of those monsters would do. But then Kiki, I put their names together. Kiki basically says that she didn't find any footprints or anything like that down there, so it possibly couldn't have been that. But since they're back at the mansion and stuff like that, they end up getting out of the mansion because the mansion ends up getting attacked by this big dragon. There was this big monster just comes out of nowhere, right? We actually get like a flying mech fight in this episode too, and we get a new mecha kind of form, like it was like a jet. It was like a purple like jet form. But yeah, this thing comes in. It's like shooting this green stuff that if you get hit with it, it turns you into foam. So anything it touches turns into foam. Whether it be humans, a tree gets turned into foam, like all kind of stuff, right? So it turns out the guy that they end up tracking down, this dude, turns out he was a poacher back in the day, right? And since he was a poacher back in the day, he says to Reiji that, hey, I did my time. I went to jail. I did my time, and I haven't done anything since. I just been living it up with my money on, right? So it turns out the real culprit is this young dude with like amazing hair. My hair is almost like that. Like, it's just amazing hair. It's gotta be a wig, but it's amazing hair, right? He's the one that is basically looking for this dude. He tells this guy, you don't remember what you did to me back there on the other planet? Turns out this guy was a poacher. He was a poacher back in the day, and this man killed this guy's pet, and his pet name was Tama. And it turns out Tama was a big dragon thing, right? And he basically uses the negative Emo-gear energy and Tama to basically try and take this guy out, but that's not the case here. So what ends up happening is we see that Reiji ends up using the new mech form to actually defeat Tama, and Tama transforms into one of the regular Emo-gear monsters that we've been getting. Turns out Kiki tells the culprit, tells the dude that wasn't Tama. That's just an illusion that you created, right? But we end up fighting that monster. It turns out that monster had like it looked a little different. It had like different arms, it had the fangs of the dragon thing. It was like a saber-toothed tiger dragon, but it was dope. But I was like, I wasn't expecting to turn to the sky and see a dragon. But yeah, so it ends up turning back into a regular monster state, but it has like these two blade arms. Apparently these blade arms are supposed to be the fangs of the original Tama. So we end up fighting this monster, and out of nowhere we see that our main corporate guy, he ends up getting possessed by the monster some more, and actually opens a portal to the Maku space. So we see our girl Kiki ends up transforming into her Gavan form, Gavan Luminos, and she ends up closing the door. She ends up defeating some of the, I guess, like the henchmen, the suits guy, the bodyguard dudes. They ended up getting possessed by some negative energy, and we had to fight them off. So while Reiji is fighting them, we see that Kiki ends up going off, and she defeats she fights the monster, and she ends up closing the door to the Maku space. And after she defeats the monster, the arms of the monster are still kind of left behind, like as blades, right? And she tells, and when they put the handcuffs on dude, they tell him that, hey, you know, Tama wouldn't want you doing this and all that jazz, you know, kind of just telling him that, hey, this is not what Tama would want. And, you know, he's still getting arrested, and she's like, hey, my MO gear is the MO gear of joy, and I'm gonna do my best to make sure you get your smile back, haha. So yeah, you know, arresting old boy, and they end up taking, the girls ended up talking to Reiji, and they're basically saying like, you're leaving already? Like, why are you a Gavan? Like, Kiki's the only one that's supposed to be a Gavan. Why are you a Gavan? And he said, hey, you're leaving already, you have to take us with you and stuff like that. He said, nah, y'all wouldn't be able to survive being on another Earth. And they're like, what? And he ends up leaving, you know. But I guess the fact that he can't tell them, because we all know at the end of the day, all three of these Gavans are going to meet each other. All their supporters and stuff are going to meet each other. And I'm really ready for that, because I can't wait to see the conversation they're supposed to have. And I can't wait to see, like, now that when all three Gavans start working together, all three of these federations are going to start intertwining and working together and all that jazz. And I really can't wait for that, especially with Bushido's master. She wants to meet this red Gavan. But yeah, this episode was absolutely dope. I absolutely love Kiki and Koto. Like, this seems like they gonna be the ish, because the whole time, like, there's one scene where they're walking together, going to this crime scene, and they're talking about and Koto's talking about a dream she had, where she was like, I had a dream last night that I was swimming through whipped cream. And I was like, what? and then Kiki talked about, like, she was like, yeah, you know, I would prefer swimming through chocolate. I think that'd be cooler. Like, they're just having this casual kitty conversation while going to a crime scene, which was wild to me, you know. And yo, Kiki just so cute, and she's smiling, and she's like literally just joy. Like, she's literally just joy. And I hope nothing bad happens to this girl or Koto. I like them both, you know. Even when Kiki transforms into her Gavan form, which looks dope in action, by the way, she has like keychains on it, like with these two stuffed animals. It's just cute. She's just cute, okay? But other than that, this episode was dope. I can't wait to move to the point, because all three of our Gavans have been established right now. All three of our main Gavans have been established right now. We still got the Death Gavan dude. He's out there somewhere, and it looks like we're getting another Gavan in the next episode. And I think that might be the other girl, because they're supposed to be like another girl Gavan. So I'm looking forward to seeing that too. Can't wait to see that. But other than that, what you guys think about this episode of Space Sheriff Gavan Infinity? Let me know down there in the comment section below. Did you like it? Did you hate it? What do you think of our what do you think of our two new characters? What do you think about the concept of this episode? Everything, all that jazz. But other than that, I'm gonna see you guys next time. Like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. As members always say, stay henchioned.
Yeah, the shining golden sign.